Wonderful news. It was on the wireless just now.
Aye, Hitler's marched into the Rhineland. Good for business. Shares will be up a couple of bob by tea time.
No. It's Lord Sudbury. He's dead.
Aye, so I see. Here we are. Lord Sudbury was taken ill while on a visit to his chiropodist, Mrs. D. Marchington of Wimpole Street, who said last night I loosened his clothing and tried every means to stimulate him, including mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Lord Sudbury is succeeded by his eldest son, rising socialist politician, Mr. Seymour Pugh.
Well, that's the whole point, Father. Seymour Pugh succeeds his father. He goes to the House of Lords, huh? So he can't fight this by-election against me.
Good heavens, Austin, I do believe you're right.
Well, of course I'm right, Father. And sometimes you're very slow on the uptake. Pugh no longer comes under starter's orders, so it's a walkover. You can safely say I'm Utterly's next MP.
Well, that's a marvellous stroke of luck, son.
Luck, Father? Oh, no.
What do you mean?
I believe I had a helping hand. Yes. I've always felt somehow different. Special. Marked out for great things. In all this, Father, I detect the hand of Providence.
Oh, the hand of Providence. Well, let's hope the hand of Providence isn't in the habit of leaving fingerprints.
These rabbits, Doctor. When I first started feeding them, one bucket of cabbage tops would do lots of them. Well, it's been months now, and one bucket of cabbage tops still does them. I mean, you'd have thought they'd have multiplied, being rabbits.
While we're on the subject of multiplying, George, I would like to ask you a personal question. You remember the trouble you had with the Priapismus Maximus?
That time I was full of me clog.
Aye. Now, I think I am right in saying that there were no consequences of a perambulatory nature, if you take my meaning.
I take your meaning, Doctor. Huh? No. Johnny Club our Agnes is in. It's Co-op Burial Club. and I don't think Miss Isabel's got a brick at Chad at all, as a result of that time I sold her the her clocks for her. Because if she had, she'd have been round to our house, wouldn't she? Asking me what I was going to do about it.
Now, I warned you, fair child, I'm not going to stand for these lurid fantasies of yours about Miss Isabel. No, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
Jack.
Alice.
There's something you don't do that you always used to do.
What?
You don't wear your cap anymore when we...
Well, no sense taking precautions, seeing you're going to be wet. That is... If you still intend going through with this marriage to Lord Mountfast.
Why do you ask me that?
Because you don't act discreet, do you? I mean, look at all this straw you keep sending round. I've a perfectly good bed in the boiler house, you know.
I've always preferred the horse box to the bedroom. I can only find the true joy of love in the context of a stable relationship.
And that's another thing. Where have you parked that horse today? People notice, you know. I think it's because you want to be found out. Because, deep down, you don't want to go through with this marriage.
Do you think I don't know what you're up to, Jack? You once sold your interest in me to my father to set yourself up in business. And now your business is tottering. Who have you struck a deal with this time?
There, lass. I love you.
You're lying, Jack. A woman always knows. My guess is my mother. She's offered you more money if you stop me marrying Mountfast.
£1,000, but I need that money, Isabel, or I'll go to the wall.
Oh, you blind fool. Don't you know why I'm marrying Mountfast? It'll make me a very rich woman. Rich enough to offer a lifebelt to a drowning man who, right now, is clutching at straws.
Ah, well, you can't help yourself when you're going down for the third time.
When I'm Lady Mountfast, Jack, there'll be all the money you want.
Why would you do that for me, Isabel?
Because I love you. You're selfish, cruel, callous, ruthless, ambitious. I suppose all my life I've been looking for someone like Daddy.
Are you offering me some kind of a deal, Macduff?
I am. If you'll give me those photographs, I will give Hardacre Pharmaceuticals the means to a fortune.
You've caught me interest.
It's all here, Hardacre. Pages of notes, formulae, tabulations. Step by step, the workings of a great scientific mind. Oh, teasing and unravelling, minute observations, inspirational flashes, subtle connections.
Get to the point, man. What have you got?
I have isolated an SBD derivative in the form of a pole. which offers a safe, reliable and completely effective means of birth control.
You mean a contraceptive pill?
Exactly. Have you any conception what this could mean? Family planning within the reach of every married couple. Relief for suffering womanhood no longer bowed and broken by so much incessant childbearing. Relief for the working man stretched upon the rack of labour to supply so many hungry and unwanted mouths.
That is the most immoral proposition that has ever been put to me, Doctor.
I don't follow you, Hardacre. After all, there are already family planning requisites on the market.
Aye, but I have this one saving grace, Doctor. They don't work.
Aye, but my pill works, Hardacre. It is a boon to mankind.
Pleasure without procreation. The prerogative of the harlot down the ages. We live in the age of mass production, for which we need a mass market. Aye, and the massed ranks of a willing and needy labour force. Regulate the supply of labour, would you? What are you, man? Some kind of a communist? This pill of yours must be suppressed.
But my discovery belongs to mankind.
I have two things to say to that. One, where is mankind's registered office? And two, who is mankind's solicitor? Matthews, Finney, escort this man from the premises. He no longer works here.
But we made a deal, Hardacre. You promised me these compromising photographs.
I made that promise under duress, a company of which I happen to be a major shareholder. I never heard a more dangerous suggestion. The day women stop worrying, they'll take over the country.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to Isabel's wedding, Mummy. I've been rehearsing in front of the mirror. And, do you know, when I come to the words, to avoid fornication, I kind of throw my head back and give the congregation a challenging look. I won't do it for you now. It would spoil the effect on the day and doesn't do to over-rehearse.
No, I shouldn't if I were you, Morris.
Been working on the choir for weeks. Young Robinson gives a rendering of Oh, Perfect Love that passeth all understanding. Such a lovely voice, too.
You're going to be so disappointed. But never mind, there'll be plenty more weddings.
What do you mean, Mummy?
A little bird tells your mummy that Isabel may not be going through with this travesty of a marriage to Mountfast.
Talbot says you want to see me.
What is all this, Sis? Mummy says you won't be marrying Mountfast.
Does she? What makes you think that, Mother?
Tell me where you've been, Isabel.
Well, riding, of course.
That is a barefaced lie. Brass Beauty came home without you 2 hours ago. You haven't been riding. You've been at Jack Fairchild's forge.
Jack Fairchild's forge, really? Don't suppose you happened to stumble upon, I don't know, the blueprints to such a thing as a truss flange, did you?
What if I have, Mother?
Oh, but I'm not angry, my darling. I'm glad, you hear? Glad.
Glad to the tune of £1,000, I understand.
Oh, yes, Mother. I know you offered him money. I'd part with the money gladly for the comfort of knowing it has saved you from this monumental mistake of marrying Mountfast.
Oh, I'm still marrying Mountfast. He's a thoroughbred, after all, and may as well carry my colours. But when I want longer odds, I'll continue to plunge on the rank outside of the bell!
My friend Guy is right about women. They are all irredeemably carnivorous. Well, they won't be getting their teeth into me. I shall be getting on with my wedding rehearsals, Mother. Try on my vestments. You seem rather to have jumped the gun.
Yes, Morris, where is it? The gun you took from my dressing table.
Gave it to Isabel, or rather she took it from me.
So, Isabel has the gun. How very inconvenient. Or, just possibly, how very convenient.
We're beaten. Crushed, I tell you. Crushed for a generation.
There'll have to be a statement made to the press. I move we have them in.
Seconded. Carried.
The gentlemen and ladies of the press may now enter.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First of all, our map will bring you up to date regarding the situation pertaining currently at this moment in time.
Well, this afternoon, I withdrew the emergency fund.
Yes, lad. You were taking something on yourself, weren't you? It needs 3 committee members in good standing for that.
Well, it was an emergency. So, like I said, I took all the empties back to the Jolly Cripple, and with the money, 1 and 4pence in all, I proceeded to make a telephone call.
Telephone call? He's power mad.
I telephoned Transport House in London, and Well, top and bottom of it is, they've no replacement as they can send for Mr. Pugh.
May I say something?
I'm sorry, Madam Chairman. We can't allow folk as is not on committee, not even members of party to take the floor. No. It was Mr. Lott who said that. That's L-O-T-T, as in TT races.
No, I must speak. You do have a candidate. Someone who's known to everyone here in Utterly. Staunch and true with the gift of oratory and the power to stir men's hearts.
No, it's right what you say, but, you know, the wife's been very ill lately, and what it means is me whippets are not getting looked after properly. And then he wrote, Mr. Ardacre knows where I live.
I didn't mean you, Mr. Lott.
You mean our Matt, don't you? But he's underage.
No, Mrs. Fairchild. Who better to lead this fight than the woman who led the first strike in Utterly's history? Yes! Red Agnes can fight this battle for Labour. And with a bugle's help, which I hereby pledge, Red Agnes can win!
Oh, Mum, how come we've been so blind? She's right.
So be it. If that is the people's will. I know. I have the body of a weak and feeble woman. But it's high time us woman rose up against Bradley Ardacre, because for too long we've taken everything he stood for lying down. And who knows that better than me?
Truth has come. Come and go down that crutch works and lay all the men off.
So you're not putting your collar and tie on? You'd never see Mr. Ardacre laying men off without being properly dressed. He's very good like that.
They won't see him in the same boat as they are. Aye, then we out a paddle. Where'd you get that crutch?
Mr. Ardacre gave it me after its explosion. It's a good crutch, mind. Don't half go. But for me at my age, well, it's a bit off speedy side.
Aye, they were first-class crutches. If I sell so much as one of them, Ardacre's got me. But if I could sell half a crutch... By heck, I think I can see light at the end of the tunnel.
Half a crutch? What's the good of half a crutch?
Well, join it to the business end. Of course, a trust fund. Well, not if I'd happened, but nothing I couldn't handle. No. Right. I'm gonna get the crutch works right enough. Tell them we'll not be going down with ship. No. And they'll have kippers when this boat comes in.
How do I know exactly where to look? Just have a good scout round. Oh, you're hopeless. I suppose I'll have to come down myself.
Oh. The door is open, you know.
What? I was called upon to rescue Hesketh. I don't know how he got up there, but really, you ought to have a sign. It's a very dangerous roof.
Yes, well, there is a sign to that effect, Mr. Morris.
What? Well, that's no good to Hesketh, is it? He's dyslexic.
Was it our Jack you wanted?
No. Ah, yes. He promised me a contribution to the parish magazine.
Ah, I have done wonders with that magazine, Mr. Morris. Yeah, much more interesting lately. Grand idea, that big photo at middle.
Ah, you mean the centrefold?
Choir boy of the month, aye. What exactly was our Jack giving you to put in?
Oh, the usual sort of thing, I suppose. A poem and inspiring thought and plan of a truss flange.
You are my last hope, Lady Patience. I am asking you to intercede with your husband.
Why should I lift a finger to save you?
Oh, now, try to remember, Lady Patience, the great service I did you.
I never forget a service. God knows there aren't that many to remember.
But you must remember that when all the specialists in Europe had confessed themselves baffled, it was I who gave you back the use of your limbs. Now, I got you out of that wheelchair.
You're like the rest of your sex. You believe your powers to be very much greater than they are.
Oh, ingratitude, ingratitude! How sharper than a serpent's tooth!
I could walk all the time, Macduff.
Aye, but you didn't know it until I hypnotised you.
You hypnotised yourself. With this.
Ah, medically impossible. Nobody can hypnotise himself.
You told me I was getting sleepy. You swung your watch like this. Eyelids heavy as lead. Sleepy. Very sleepy. On the count of 4, you said, I would fall asleep. It was you who fell asleep. On the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I tell you, self-hypnosis is medically impossible. Lady Patient. Oh, my God, it's true. And you've been laughing at me all along, like the rest of them laughing. Well, if I'm to be struck off, let's give them a good reason. They say I'm not up to it. Well, that's one slur that's going to be well and truly laid. Oh, no. When the lights are low.
Your lemon, my lady. If there's nothing more, my lady, shall I take the liberty of drawing the curtains?
Where's Morris?
He's not coming, Father. I left him curled up in front of a roaring fire with Captain W.E. Johns.
I don't know what the RAF's coming to. The mind boggles.
Why are any of us here, Father? It's meaningless window dressing.
Much of life is, but here, dressing for dinner in the jungle, leaving a glass of sherry for Father Christmas, begging the peasants for their votes at elections. Meaningless charade, if you will, but we call it civilization. Well, I reckon all that's coming's come. Voters of Utterly, I give you your next MP, Mr. Austin Hardacre.
Thank you. Thank you, friends.
Well, you were all hoping for a great debate tonight, but you'll not be getting one because the other side's cut and run. However, seeing as you've turned out on a foul, inclement night, although I recognise some faces as belonging to the No Fixed Abode Brigade coming here for a bit of a warm, well, you will be warmed and all when my son addresses you on his talk, Wage Cuts, the Key to Prosperity.
Good evening. Well, let me just say, I feel rather cheated tonight. I like a fight, huh? Don't we all? Well, I fight hard. I give knocks, and I take them. I'm not one to lose my nerve if I see a trickle of blood. Well, I was hoping to give you the spectacle of a first-rate heavyweight bout tonight, but here I am with my gloves on and nobody else in the ring.
That's where you're wrong, Austin Hardacre.
Throw that man out. We'll have no hecklers.
I'm no heckler. I'm Labour Party agent. And we have his candidate right here in the hall.
They have a candidate, Father. Father, they've got a candidate. What are we to do?
Calm yourself, Austin. The man's bluffing. If you have a candidate, let's have a look at him.
Here is our candidate, Mrs. Agnes Fairchild.
Oh, my God, Austin, this is serious. And to think it used to be us Tories' chief political asset. The Labour Party's deep cleavage.
Hey, Bradley Hardacre, you thought you had me by the short hairs and in a hair shirt, but it's your shares they'll be selling short, and I'll be sure it's you that's hurt. Who come at me? Knocking at this time of night. All right. What's happened to these lads?
My car! The snow! In the ditch! I ran off the road.
Are you hurt, lass?
Oh, no. No, I don't think so. I must have fallen asleep at the wheel.
Come and warm yourself by the forge fire, lass. God, your clothes, they're soaked through.
No!
What?
No, I must get to Atterley, the Mechanics' Institute. Well, they're depending on me for these hand... I've been working so hard lately with the paper and the campaign.
No, you're not going anywhere, lass. No. Get out of them wet clothes. I'll go and fetch something warm to wrap thee in.
Yes. Yes, you're quite right. But as soon as I'm dry, I must try to get on. Oh, you're so kind, Mr. Fairchild. If I could stay here just a few minutes and get warm.
You'll be warmed up before you leave here, lass. I'm warmed by a fire stronger than any forge.
What are you doing?
I'm going to lay you in this straw.
Lucky it happened to be here. Jack? You don't mean... You mustn't. You can't.
I could tell thee, lass, that I can't help myself. But if there's one thing I've learned from my dealings with your father, it's that I can help myself. And I'm going to.
Jack! Where does my opponent stand on the unemployed?
Unemployed?
I'll tell you where he stands. With his high-class hand-lasted heel at their throats! That is why I am asking you to send me to the Mother of Parliaments. Aye, and how much nobler an institution it would be if it were a parliament of mothers. But I hear you say, fine words butter no parsnips. True, but a Labour government will build a butter mountain! And if a man make a butter mountain, the world will beat an egg to his door. Let my opponent deny that if he can.
Yeah.
Which is what horses beggars would ride.
Ah, yes. You beggars just want to ride roughshod.
You can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink.
Aye, you can lead a force to slaughter, but you cannot make them think. What does my opponent know about life? What does the family allowance mean to him? I'll tell you what it means. It means the blank cheque his father signs every month to finance his iniquities. Oh, yes. They're asking you to vote for a family man. A man whose family fattens and battens on the blood of this town. A brood of vampires on the neck of the body politic. What does this family man know about families and their struggle to make ends meet?
That is an unwarrantable slur.
Thank you, Father.
My son has today disclosed to me, his proud father, the news of his engagement and impending nuptials to the young lady on whom he has set his heart, though, I may add, for the benefit of the chapel element present, no other part of his anatomy.
What do you mean, Father?
Shut up and smile.
What did you mean, Father, my nuptials?
I was thinking on my feet, Austin.
But you and I know, Father, that I'm not getting married.
Oh, yes, you are.
Oh, I know that by then I'll have been elected. Pardon?
Agnes has hit upon your 1 week spot, son. It wouldn't be so bad if it went for your brother Morris. You know what they say, by their fruit shall ye know them.
I'm nothing like my brother Morris, Father. I'm normal and healthy. I admit I don't have any women friends, but to be fair, I don't have any men friends either.
It isn't a friend I found for you, Austin. It's a wife. Don't worry. It's someone you've known ever since you attended skin clinic together. Yes, Cynthia Dudcock.
No, Father, no.
Oh, yes, Austin, yes. It's a convenient match for all parties.
I've been your willing tool in this election. But when it comes to marriage, I refuse to be your tool anymore!
I have a certificate here that says you would be mad to defy me, Austin. Marriage is a great institution, infinitely preferable to the one you'll find yourself in if you refuse to bow to my will.
Oh,